Go.
What's good, world? Welcome to the Wisdom Whiskey Winning Podcast. I'm your host, Lo. I'm here with some of the my closest friends in the world. What's up, y'all?
What's going on, everybody? Uh, Julius, everybody calls me Tay. Happy to be here with y'all, man. Happy to get this podcast
Hey,
started. Happy to be in my new house, my new
hey,
casa.
Tay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
I
I'm ready to get this thing going, man. Ready to be on a regular schedule again.
What up, everybody? It's RB. Everybody knows me. It's good to see everybody. I'm gonna make this quick. Go ahead, Pete.
Everybody
It's
don't know
all
you.
you.
Everybody don't
doesn't.
know you.
what's up,
He's
y'all? It's your boy P. I'm in the back cave right now, coming live and direct. Let's get it in, Lo. Back to you, baby.
What's
I want
up?
to
Hey,
say
yo,
something for a low start.
I don't like Richie's energy.
Everybody don't know.
Cut Richie off,
Everybody don't
yo.
know. Everybody don't know Richie. Everybody don't know RB.
Everybody know who I
Let's just
am.
Yo,
let's just
cut
put that
Richie off. I don't like his energy tonight. He like, yo, my name Richie. Y'all know.
Hey,
Hey,
yeah,
that chief
Yeah.
don't know Rich. My bad.
Everybody know who I am.
everybody. Hey, Richie didn't get the notes. He didn't get enough prep time. So
Hey, real quick, man. So I wanted to ask y'all because we always talk about it every podcast. How is everybody's mental health?
I'll start, man.
Go ahead.
It was very stressful moving into a new city and getting a new house and closing. At one point, me and my wife didn't think we're going to be able to close on time, so that was stressful. Trying to calm her down, trying to be the leader of the house and let her know that everything was going to be all right. So I was really, um, I wouldn't say, I was really battling, uh, my mental. I was really battling that for a while, but then, man, just trying to stay strong and finally got in here. If everything works out, you know what I'm saying. If you pray about it, you're not supposed to worry about it. So we prayed about it. We didn't worry about it, and everything worked out good, man. So I'm on the up and up right now, bro. I'm on the
That's
up
what's
and up,
up,
man.
man. I'm happy for you.
I'll keep this pretty quick, but there are some things that I need to push out there. So, like I told y'all in the previous episode, I had COVID and I'm bouncing back in the gym. It's a little bit of a struggle with my cardio, which hasn't really been an issue before. But having a proper mindset, I'm still getting in there. I'm running. We got this little run to Selma or walk to Selma thing that we're doing on the Nike Run app. It's 54 miles this month, so hopefully I'm able to
Hey,
achieve that. And also, there's a stress I'm trying to conquer. Everybody's nervous because we're looking to see what our next space is, and that list comes out on Wednesday. So hopefully there's some positive that comes out of that. If not, we'll be looking in June. All
there
is
you
good
go.
on this side though.
P, my brother. What's up, man? How you?
Um, this morning woke up beat, man. Not gonna lie, it's probably gonna be kind of like y'all gonna be like, man, we don't hear Pete like that. I really haven't shared any of this new information, and I hate doing this to y'all because it's like every week. You know what I'm saying, Lo? Like the last 4 weeks, right? Every
Mhm.
week, like I know y'all be like, man, Pete's gonna get some good news, isn't it? And just the bad news just gets added to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I ain't gonna do it on the podcast right now. I'm staying, venting to the right people. Trying to stay as positive I can, and in those big words, controlling what I can. But man, it's hard not to feel beat, man. Like nothing's going the way you need it to go, or at least to hear news. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're waiting something like RB, man, he's waiting to see what that list is gonna be. I think me and him kind of understand like just trying to see what's going to be on the list from point A to that happens is super stressful, man. I don't think people talk about that a lot. Like like Tay just said, pray about it, let it be, and it'll work. But in between that from that point to that point, there's so much stress that comes out of that. And it's like
Mhm.
I've already had enough, planning and changing I've had to do, especially with the family. And it's like, man, that last piece, man, just let me know what the final verdict is going to be. You know what I'm saying? So I could get past this. A lot of us are strong enough where we can get past some bad news or that rock in a hard place. We can get past it, right? But if you constantly waiting, it's like you're getting beat down. You know what I mean? To figure out, okay, I'm good. This is what's going to happen. Let me make my move. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just like, ugh. But I'm pushing forward, man. I appreciate you boys, and thanks for asking, man.
Y'all know, because I mean we brothers, man. No matter what any of y'all go through, even though we all geographically separated, y'all ain't never alone. So
Yeah, no doubt.
no matter, I mean, I know y'all got y'all families, you got your wife, but I'm talking about as far as
Yep.
brotherhood and brothership goes. Y'all already know y'all ain't never alone, and I know I ain't either, and that's why we so close. But I want to shift gears, man. I'm glad to hear everybody's doing well and working through whatever things we got going on. But I want to talk about, what are y'all watching, man? What are y'all watching on TV right now? Because I just watched the season finale of Cobra Kai, the season 3 finale. Have y'all watched it yet?
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna
Don't
spoil
do it
nothing.
to me, man.
I'm not gonna spoil nothing. But yo, if you're a fan of the show, that season finale was everything you wanted a TV show.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. I'm gonna break down. I'm gonna
Artist-
break down to go ahead and watch it, man. Like I was trying to stay away from it, man. I'm gonna break down and watch it. Okay,
It's
Lo.
nostalgic, Tay.
Okay.
It's nostalgic, bro.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
If you were a fan of the Karate Kids, man, it's nostalgic. It's not even like, it's not one of those corny shows that everybody jumped on. I think it's just everybody's like, it's bringing you back to that, like reliving watching the movies back in the day. And it's just like tying today's times into, it's just dope how they doing it.
Yeah,
and I don't
no
know
doubt.
if y'all know Will Smith, and like Will Smith is like the producer of it and shit like that. So
Did not know
yeah,
that.
it's a dope show, man. Yeah.
Nah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Right now I'm watching The Crown, which is pretty dope. It's about the queen. It's about the Queen of England. You know what I'm saying? Like it talks about everything that happened, back when she was younger, going through, different processes of her being the queen. But it also relates to how the U.S. reacted to certain world events also. So it's pretty dope to see how like their perspective on the U.S. and how we remain allies throughout that time. So that, man, and I like the Last Kingdom, man. That's one of my go-tos right now. And the nerd in me, I like it's on HBO Go. The what's that show? Beast Boy and Robin. What's that damn show, man? I can't think of it right now. But I don't really know the names of stuff, man. I just watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty dope, man. I'm watching all those shows right now. Just little nerd comic book shows. That's all I'm into right now.
Richie, what you watching, Richie?
So
Titans.
Oh,
Okay.
that hurts.
Titans.
My mom put me on to probably the worst movie I've ever seen in a long time. Ever. No, just ever. It's called The Daughter of a Wolf. It's not even one of the ones where if the remote is on the other side of the room, you just watch it. It was a horrible movie. But I did get to see The Little Things with Denzel Washington.
What was that? I heard some mixed reviews.
So I will not spoil it. I will let y'all watch it. But I will say the bad guy, I would rate him equivalent to when nobody played Joker and Batman.
Ooh.
I really
some praise
liked
right
him.
there.
I really
right? Right on.
Heath, was it Heath? What's his name?
Heath Ledger when Heath Ledger played Batman.
Yeah.
Guy in Little Things, it's Jared Leto, right? He played a Joker.
He played Joker in Suicide Squad. Jared Leto.
Yeah. It wasn't
Jared
a big
Leto.
role. Yeah, it was.
It was terrible. That was a terrible movie, by the way.
The personality that came with it. Now the reviews are mixed for a reason, and once you watch the movie, because I don't want to spoil it for our listeners. Also, once you watch it, you'll get it. But it's a good movie to watch. I enjoyed the movie. I just had it made my mind turn, and I was like, it's a different approach from Denzel Washington, but detective movie. That's the Denzel Washington thing, and that's what that's why I tuned in. And also, if y'all ever heard of glass blowers?
No.
Jade got me watching this thing where these people, they make, how you make all this stuff from glass. They actually put in the hot thing, they pull it out, and they're blowing to create different.
Oh yeah, I seen that. Is that dope?
That's on Netflix. It's quite creative, that people have that they can see it in their mind and actually bring it to a glass, because glass is very sensitive, and that's what I'm watching right now. It's actually really good.
I never thought in a million years I'd hear Richie told me he's watching a show about glass blowing. I never thought it.
Hey, you know what? I can see it because Richie is not like he's into stuff that you wouldn't think that he would be
Yeah.
into. Like, think of it
No,
like
I know that about Richie. I just didn't know glass blowing was going to be one of them. That's what it is. I'm not trying to be funny. It's called glass blowing,
no,
right,
you
Richie?
try to be funny.
Yeah.
No,
No.
bro.
That's what I said when I first heard it too. I was like, did that man just say blowing glass?
Blowing.
It's
He
called
says
glass.
normal as hell, and he'd be like, blowing.
That's how you say it.
Blowing.
But that, Richie, I'm not even trying to be funny. I just like, if I was to tell you I watched something on glass blowing, you'd be like, what?
But that was my first reaction too, because
Yeah,
I was listening and the man was like, I really enjoyed blowing glass. And I was like, pause. But then I started watching the TV and I'm like, oh, he actually is like blowing into the tube to make the glass.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and watch it, man. Like I
Hey,
was. Go ahead.
Oh no, I said real quick before P ends up going, I want to show that I'm addicted to watching because I'm a fat kid. Is Carnival Eats, man. I don't know if y'all ever watched that show, Carnival Eats on what's it, the Cooking Channel or Food Net, Discovery or something. Oh my God, yo, he just goes to carnivals and he just tries out food at these carnivals. I'm like,
I could literally make that a living. I literally can make that a living.
Just Google Carnival Eats, yo, and just like watch a couple of the clips, and I'm telling y'all will be like, really? They fry everything that shouldn't even be fried, but they fry
it. Oh my gosh.
P,
I could literally
you watching, bro? What's up, P? What you watching, bro?
So I just started the second season. Can you hear me? I just started the second season of Cobra Kai. So don't spoil it for me, please.
Yeah, buddy.
And since Richie brought up a movie, there's a good movie on Netflix. I think it's What Happened to Monday. It's not what you're gonna expect. It's like a sci-fi type movie. Legit. Like
what
legit.
Monday?
Yeah, What Happened to Monday.
I'm about to put that in my must watch right now. What Happened to Monday?
And girl in that movie, man, she's one of my favorite. She's not an up and coming actress. She's solidified, but she's not like super major blockbuster yet. But when you see her, you're probably gonna recognize her. But she did a really good job in that. And then I think it's called Queen's Gambit with an old girl that plays chess and all that.
Yeah, that's dope. That movie was dope.
So I saw the first episode and I was like, it kind of snags you, but by the time you get to the second episode, when it hooks you, you know what I'm saying? So
Queen's Gambit.
But Cobra Kai is where it's at.
Hey, Queen's Gambit is dope.
And y'all know I'm a Marvel head. So I'm watching that WandaVision.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that WandaVision is dope. It's dope.
Yeah. It's dope, man.
Hey, Richie, that Queen's Gambit, like after
so that's what I'm on right now.
I literally binge watched the whole episode, like the whole season. You can't turn it off.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we lost P.
Nope, there he is.
There he is. Okay.
Hey, so what was it? Probably like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. The anniversary of Kobe came, right? Of his death came. And rest in peace to Kobe, Gian, everybody that was on the helicopter. When that happened though, like when the anniversary came up, it got me to thinking, like, because Kobe wasn't necessarily my favorite player, right? He was somebody I enjoyed to watch a lot. I loved watching Kobe play, his competitiveness, but I was never a Lakers fan. I'm not gonna lie to people like, oh, I was like this diehard Kobe fan. I just really enjoyed watching him play. But it got me thinking about all my favorite players in every sport and like how attached I was to them. And I want to hear like who are some of y'all favorite players or favorite player in each sport that you watch? Like for me, growing up, my favorite basketball player to watch, he's still my favorite to this day. He's the GOAT in my opinion, is T-Mac. And I hate that T-Mac got, injuries stopped his career because even Kobe Bryant said he was one of the hardest players to play against.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And anybody that saw T-Mac, which all of us were alive to watch T-Mac, and we saw T-Mac in his prime, he was a straight monster, right?
Yeah,
he was a monster. And I got to witness P. So Allen Iverson's one of my other favorite players, but T-Mac was my all-time favorite basketball player. And I got to witness, because my dad took me to a game, I got to witness T-Mac and Iverson play in Philly. And bro, when I tell you I was like just watching T-Mac and Iverson go at it, bro, and T-Mac dropped like 40, Iverson dropped like 40, I was like, yo, this shit is wild. And then it just, like I said, it got me thinking of all my favorite athletes in every other sport. And then in football, and I know everybody thought it would have been a Knicks player because I'm a diehard Knicks fan, but the Giants, I'm a diehard Giants fan. So Michael Strahan is my favorite football player that I've ever got to watch, because I
I
got to
like
watch
that.
Michael Strahan. I got to watch Michael Strahan, you know, and just watching him hype up the Giants before every game, man, just used to give me, I used to be sitting in the TV just like repeating what he was saying, like in the huddle and shit. And then baseball, I mean, this is going to be pretty obvious because I'm a Yankees fan, was Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, I mean, I'm happy enough that, I mean, I'm blessed because, you know, my dad raised me as a New York fan, so I'm all around New York guy, but I don't have any Knicks players. Oh, we lost P.
That's all good. Let's keep going. Rolling.
Got it. But
We'll
yeah,
get it
man,
back in there.
those are my favorite players, man, that I grew up on. I got current favorite players, but those are my favorite players that don't play anymore. I want to hear y'all's, man, because it was on my mind. I was like, I want to hear who y'all favorite players are. And it don't have to be in those sports. It could be whatever sports y'all watch.
Richie, you can go ahead.
Okay. So I have a few, but the ones that I watched as a kid and I kind of still watch to this day. So in basketball, I still am a big Blake Griffin fan. Like,
I give you that. He's a monster.
Especially when he played for the Clippers, because you knew some type of highlight reel was coming. And I just really enjoyed him. And also Derrick Rose, when Derrick Rose was healthy, like there was no, you know, and the one I didn't mention, Westbrook, I'm a fan of Westbrook because I like the way he plays, but his attitude this season is getting him in a lot of trouble. So I'm interested to see where that takes him. Now football, you know, I'm a Panthers fan, so I'm a diehard Panthers fan. Luke Keegley, I hate that he did not get a ring. I just love watching him on defenses because you could see that he saw it all. He saw the play before the play actually happened.
He was a monster.
When we got Greg Olson, man, like big boy, he loved the game of football. And in baseball, it was Ken Griffey Jr. And
I'll give you that.
I loved his, you know, the way his batting stance and his effort at playing the game, and you know that him and his father both played. That was pretty dope. But when it comes to Spartan races, you know, Robert Killen, somebody I mentioned in a previous podcast, this dude he's actually in the Army Guard, I believe, because he was down there for at the Capitol Hill when they called in the Guard. But phenomenal athlete when it comes to Spartan race, and you know, to be in the military and actually go and do that also is I think that's amazing. What about you, Tay?
Man, so I'm gonna go a couple of different sports, but the one sport y'all probably don't think that I'm gonna go is the Detroit Red Wings, man. Like I grew up in Michigan, so like I grew up watching hockey, right? Like when my teenage years. So Chris Osgood was the Red Wings goalie, and he was absolutely amazing, man. I love watching him. I love watching the Red Wings back in the day. If y'all knew anything about the Red Wings, we won a couple of championships back in the 90s, early 2000s. So, you know, it was really good back then. I'm a New York Yankees fan like Elo, because I'm a New York Yankees fan because my family's from Indiana. But I grew up in Michigan, so that's why I grew my love for hockey. But my dad gave me a choice to either be a Cubs fan or a Yankees fan, so I picked the Yankees. So Mike Piazza, the catcher, man, he was.
you talking about the Mike Piazza on the Mets?
No, Mike Piazza on the Yankees. He was on the Yankees. Yeah, look it up. He was on the Yankees. Mike Piazza was played for the Yankees for a little bit, and he actually was one of my favorite players. Because he was played catcher, and I for the 1 year I did play baseball, I played catcher, and I wanted to be like him.
Did you?
Then, huh?
Oh no, I said, did you? That's what's up, man.
Yeah. So then, of course, football, man. I mean, I got to go with one of the greats that ever played it, Peyton Manning. I loved how Peyton Manning controlled his team. Like when you hear about stories about Peyton Manning, it was similar to Michael Jordan when they made that documentary about him. What was it called again? What was that documentary called?
Last Dance.
The Last Dance. Like it was similar to how people like explain how Michael Jordan was. He was very demanding, very controlling, but he wanted to be great. And Peyton Manning was the same way. He was the same way at practice. He was the same way in the game. I mean, he was just the same way. And I want to be great. Not that I'm controlling like them, but I want to be great.
Yeah.
Then let's see. I go to one of my loves, man, and everybody knows. Well, if you don't know now, you know. In 2010, I hurt myself. I hurt my shoulder really bad. They told me I would never be able to lift again. They told me I would never be able to do anything with my shoulder again. I would never be able to be in the military again. But I found the love of CrossFit, and I became a really big CrossFit fan.
I know where this is going. I know
No,
where
you
this
don't.
is going.
You think you know, but
I know where it's going.
Tell me who you think I'm gonna say.
Rich Froning?
Nope. Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey is one of the best CrossFitters that I ever met. That never won. He never won a championship. Rich Froning is up there with me, but Dan Bailey is one of the best CrossFitters that I've ever seen. He faced through adversity. He battled through injuries, and he was still like every time he competed, he was still in the top 10. And y'all know, if you ever watch the CrossFit Games, to be in the top 10 is like winning the championship. I don't care who you are. You know, some of those competitions that they have is like ridiculous. Like you couldn't even see yourself doing some of the stuff that they did. So Dan Bailey, man, like I love that dude, man. I'll follow him. And those are some of the athletes that I like to, you know, thank for me being who I am right now. So
yeah, that's what's up, man. I really wish P was back in because I wanted to hear his, man. I wanted to,
yeah, man. So just for the audience, P is moving and he doesn't have internet right now, so he's trying to do everything from his phone. He was trying to be here. I promise you, in a couple weeks, we're gonna have this thing right. I just want to put that out there, man. We're gonna get our audio right. We're gonna get mics. We're gonna get everything we need to make sure that we give you guys the best product. But right now, we just, you know, we're just out here having fun, man. But we're gonna do this thing right.
Yeah. Which athlete from which favorite athlete from whatever sport did you feel like you identified with the most?
Man, I'll speak first. Dan Bailey, man. Period. Like,
yeah,
you know, you guys know I love functional fitness. I just feel like I resonated with him the most because of the adversity he faced, the strength that he showed. He wasn't like the biggest cardio person, but he was right there, like in every race. He wasn't the strongest, but he was like right there. I just feel like I resonate with him because he just always gives his 100%. He's so fiery, man. Like I love his passion. I love people who are passionate, and I think that's why you know, I resonate with RB the most because he shows a lot of passion in whatever he does, and he reminds me of Dan Bailey a lot. So yeah, man, that's one of my favorite athletes right there.
Man, I would have to say like Luke Keegley, man.
Mm.
One thing, like when we're talking about passion, like this guy literally broke his body, you know, because he had to leave a little early due to the fact, excuse me, that he was receiving so many concussions. But to watch him go out there and play, he played with a smile. He played hard, but he always had a smile. You know, he was a great person. I started to follow him on social media, not stalkerish level, but just to see what type of person he was. And some things that, you know, that he would show was he was always just a happy person. During that Cam Newton phase when they made it all the way to the Super Bowl, Cam Newton didn't take them all the way to the Super Bowl. There was a lot of defense that came with that and defensive stops that him and his leadership, he was an epitome of a leader. And that was some things that I like to see on a field when you have, I can play it and I can show it, but I'm going to take you guys to victory. Follow me. And that was one of the things that I loved about him, that tools I took from just watching him play in his personality.
Yo, were you a Cam fan? I know you were a fan of, like, you know, your team. That's your diehard team. But were you a Cam Newton fan?
So in a previous marriage, I kind of like Cam Newton due to the fact that he went to Auburn and him playing for the Panthers. There was just so many interceptions. It was guaranteed almost an interception and a half. So I wasn't a Cam Newton fan because he played with too much of the negative emotion when he didn't get what he wanted. I was a fan of the organization and the team. So I like a lot of the other players that we had at the time that when we made that run. But even right now, I wish Cam Newton the best. I wish he would have had at least a 500 season for the Patriots, but he won't be a Hall of Famer.
No,
in my eyes.
No. But hey, I watched a clip on Luke Keegley, and they literally everybody talked about him, how he literally called out every play once they came to the line. Like he would literally call out every play. Oh, it's a screen, and then like they were like, "What the hell is going on?" Like, or oh, hey, it's a sweep to the left, it's a sweep to the right, it's a running up the middle. Like he would literally dissect every play when they came to the line. That was pretty dope.
You know what's funny, Tay? You just brought up Luke Keegley and how he was doing all that. I was watching because y'all know Phillip Rivers just retired, and I never followed Phillip Rivers like that. I wasn't a Chargers fan, so I didn't really, but I was watching some like game tape on him from his career. And did y'all see how much shit he talked during
he
games?
talked that hot.
Oh my gosh,
yo, Tay, when I tell you I was dying laughing, bro, he was telling defenses they were lined up wrong.
Oh.
He was pointing to like linebackers, like y'all ain't in the wrong formation. I'm like, yo, if I was a linebacker, I'd be trying to take his fucking head off, man.
Right. And so, of course, I'm a Colts fan. Phillip Rivers was our quarterback, and I do appreciate him so much, man, because he did give us a chance. You know what I'm saying? But watching how much crap he talked to people without cussing. He never cussed. He never cussed nobody out. But he would make you feel this big and never cut. Like, it was crazy to me. Like, but I thought he was pretty dope, man. I wish he'd come back for another year. I understand the organization got to move on, man, but I think he did us right, man. I think besides a couple of like little mess ups here and there, but he was fearless, man. One thing, he was fearless, man. He'll throw a pick and come out and then throw two touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give him this, man. He was because a lot of people, he's going to get overlooked for a lot of things just because he's one of the greatest quarterbacks to play for one of the worst organizations. And I'm not talking about the Colts, Ted. I'm talking about, because we know he played for the Chargers, and year after year after year, we watched the Chargers go nowhere. But year after year after year, he balled out.
Yeah, below 17 years as a starter in the NFL.
Yeah. Just a bad.
17 years.
17. But Tate, think about if he would have played for another organization, he'd probably have a ring or two.
I'm gonna ask you guys a question: Hall of Famer or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
I agree.
Even though they're gonna be like, oh, he didn't get a ring, he didn't. Nah, that boy balled out every year, like you said. Tate, a starter for 17 years. Yeah. Come on.
He may have to sit on the ballot for a couple of years, but I think he'll get, maybe like the fourth or fifth, maybe not, maybe the third or fourth look.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. I agree.
I want to tell y'all a story, man.
Uh-oh.
So back in 2009 or 2010, I joined the military in 2008. So I want to say it was 2009. Living in my house for the first time, fresh face, excited, got my wife, man. We going out, treating each other to dinners and stuff like that. We having a ball, right? Still newlyweds, having fun. And then I wake up one morning, right? And I'm in the negative by a lot of money.
How much?
It was over $500.
Ooh,
goodness.
So that was one of the wake up calls in my life where I realized I can't just be doing, whatever I want with money, and I can't just be spending because I have a wife. I got, I could have kids at one point, and I was still young. I was only in my early 20s at that point. And just imagine waking up in the morning and seeing your bank account, and it was the only bank account I had at the time in the negative by that much. And there was still about, a week till payday.
Oh.
So I had to like really, I had to go back into hustle mode. Thank God my wife, we had each other's back after we snapped on each other.
Mhm.
We came back, we snapped on each other, but that was probably one of my biggest financial struggles in the military, is trying to overcome that and learn from that. And because you see a lot of these airmen when they come in, what's the first thing you see them do? Get that
Oh, buy a
Dodge
car.
Charger.
Oh, that
Yeah, they
Oh
get
Mustang,
yeah.
a
right?
Dodge
Oh
Charger.
yeah.
They all
Challenger.
do.
You
Everybody,
gotta get the new
yeah,
Challenger.
get a Challenger Charger. It's like a stipulate. It's like a requirement when you come into the military. You got to get a Charger.
Hmm.
That's one thing I never did, and I'm glad I didn't. But I still had my struggles. But that was one of my biggest struggles that that me and the wife had faced. And I want to kind of know y'all's, if y'all willing to talk about it. Like, what's something that
The
happened to you in the military that kind of made you just be like, money wise, like, oh shit.
Mm. So
hmm.
you can go first.
For me, like basically the biggest struggle I had first coming in the military.
It don't got to be first. It could just be whenever.
My biggest struggle that I had, I'll say my biggest struggle when I first had in the military, and then my biggest struggle in the military. My biggest struggle I first had in the military was being separated from everything I was comfortable with.
Mm,
My first duty station was Holloman Air Force Base in Alamogordo, New Mexico.
mm-hmm.
So
Got
being from the city and being from, everything, like, what I'm saying, just having a lot of things around me at my disposal, I had to make sure I did more with less. So, and then on top of that, deploying, uh, I deployed 5 times in 4 years at that time. So, being away from everybody, having, missing home and missing, my mom, my dad, my family. And also, one of the biggest struggles during that time was I felt like because I was making a little money, I had to help everybody.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was one of the biggest things as a young airman. Oh, my paychecks are this much money. I can pay your rent, mom, or I can pay this. I could do this, brother. I can, you know what I mean? I was giving money to everybody, and I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't saving money for myself. I felt like I had to take care of grown people. And at that time in my life, my parents, they raised me. I didn't raise them. I don't need to take care of them. My
Yeah.
sister and brother, they made their choice. I didn't need to, take care of them.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest struggle, like feeling like I had to take care of somebody and not take care of myself. And I suffer for that. My biggest struggle in the military was being, of course, I told this story before, was being suicidal, but I had you guys there to help me. Literally had RB slap me, upside the head for driving my motorcycle after drinking a half a bottle of Hennessy. Um, like just going through those struggles that I went through in life, that was probably the hardest time I had in the military. But of course, having my brothers there, the people who I'm doing the podcast with now, my circle, you guys are literally my circle, helping me
Yeah.
get through. And that's why it's so It's so important. It's so cr- critical to have a circle of people who you can rely on. It don't need
Mm.
to be this big, gigantic entourage of people. You just need a circle of people who you can trust. You know what I'm saying? So those are my two. RB.
Man, I so when I first got in, I wasn't taught, and this is no discredit to my mom. I wasn't taught financial stability and the proper things to do with my money. And when I got free of under my own supervision in the military, I had money coming in, but I just blew it how I wanted it. And there was a car that I didn't know how to purchase a car, which is it's not even embarrassing. It was just a lesson learned. But I ended up renting this car from the place and I wrecked it and I tried to hide it. I ended up getting in trouble and having to pay it back. Uh, but I wasn't taught the financial how to organize your money and make sure you pay your bills first. And, throughout my time, I've had, lights cut off and water cut off and having to go back and pay all that stuff off and understanding that once you're in that hole is super deep. It isn't, oh, I'm going to pay this and it's back in. You got a long way to go to get out of that. I appreciate that lesson. The hardest struggle I think I had to go through in my military career. So my grandfather passed and I was going through a divorce and I had just failed one of the schools that I was super excited to go to in the military.
Ooh.
And I just felt like I was on my last leg. Everything was so negative. Nothing, like every time I woke up, there was nothing positive coming my way. Just like P was saying with his journey now. And that was a storm that I had to walk through. However, I do appreciate that storm because it made me stronger. It made me know that if I can make it through that, I can pretty much make it through anything. So,
hey, pretty much through anything.
Yes.
Through anything.
Through anything.
Do anything.
So,
I remember that shit. Holy crap.
Adversity came knocking on my door in a whole bunch of multiple ways, and just going through all of it at the same time. And just when, you can't kick a guy when he's down, you get kicked with a metal boot. So that is some of the experiences I went through.
Man.
Okay. Damn.
And it's funny. It's funny that we talk about this because every bad experience that we went through, all y'all was there for it. Like, all y'all was there for you. Lo, you was there for RB and my stuff. We were all, you know what I'm saying? Like, except for Lo, like, like we wasn't there because you were balling out in Germany. So, but yeah, man, like it's crazy.
Shit.
It's crazy, like how everything comes full circle, and now we're here doing the podcast. Like it's so weird.
Yeah, right. That's funny, man. Because like I remember when. I mean, we can do that another podcast. It was just funny when I first met y'all. I had no idea looking forward to like we'd be doing a podcast. Because I think it was I met first, but that's funny, man. So
when I met you, you were eating steroids, so.
Richie just walk away.
I know, he's like, oh,
I'm done.
Steroids. I'm gonna take my steroids right now. Like,
yeah, right. He's like, yeah, you just reminded me. I got to take 3 cc's of
Sorry.
You going to work on the father figure, bro?
I got to. I have no choice. In order to keep up with you guys, I got to make sure I don't get no dad bod in the belly. Because I guess now that I've hit 36, it's starting to, push itself out. I don't need that.
Oh man. Dude, this dude still wear a size 19 pants. Like, I don't even understand. Like,
his waist is a 19.
His waist is a 19. Like, I don't understand. Anyways, next question.
Real quick though, I got a story about waist measurements, yo.
Oh boy.
I'm about to be real transparent with y'all, man. So y'all could judge me, y'all can make fun of me, and y'all can laugh at me all you want. So y'all remember in Germany, I lifted a lot of weight. I was strong, I was big, but I never did cardio like that. So when I left Germany and I went to Florida, I was coming and I got injured. And so back in Mass, I was hurt. So I wasn't working out like that, but I still had a lot of mass on me. So that mass, I was being lazy because I was hurt. I was eating what I wanted. So that waistline started to grow. So I go to take a PT test, right? I'm good. I can run it. I can do the push-ups, sit-ups. I go to get a waist measurement. I'm not going to say it, but y'all are going to know what it is. I was 1 inch away from failing.
Oh my God.
Tay, I'm not making that up, right? So he measured me. Tay, I'm not lying. Here's the worst part about it, brother. I was sucking it in. This is real shit. I kept this from everybody, yo. I kept this from everybody because I was embarrassed. So I came home, right? And Yaz was looking at me funny. She was like, babe. She was like, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. She was like, nah, something's off. And then I kind of sat there for a minute and I was like, babe, I got to tell you something. She was like, I was like, I almost failed my PT test today. And she was like, how? And I was like, by the waist measurement. And then I told her what it was. And she was like, I'm gonna fight Richie though. I'm gonna fight Richie. We gotta fight Richie.
Hey, he keeps leaving. I don't understand what's the problem.
he just keep getting up.
I know
But
it's probably Maximus, probably his dog.
oh yeah. But nah, bro, yeah. Third, yeah. It was rough, bro. Almost
That's
failed
crazy.
the PT test, and that was when I started making the changes. And yeah, man, all the way up until now. So y'all know me. I weighed my height, my most that I ever weighed was I was almost 240 in Germany. Guess how much I weighed on when did I weigh myself? I weighed myself 3-4 days ago. I weighed in at 199.
Ooh,
I weighed in at 199. Yeah.
Right on.
First
Brother.
time under
Applause, man. That's
200.
dope.
Yeah, first time under 200 pounds, man, since 2013.
Nice.
So I was
Nice,
like
bro.
impressed. My waist is slimmer. Yaz is telling me I look good. But I changed up my eating. I mean, I don't do any of the keto, vegan, any of that shit, but I just changed up how I eat. But yeah, man. I wanted to tell you that story because I didn't know if I figured y'all might not believe me, but I'm telling you, I got fat. Like fat. And I was like,
Man, it
nah.
happens though.
I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, we all go through that season, man. Like that's the season like I was going through, and I told you I needed to switch it up, man. Like, you know what I mean? I just, you just need to do something different, man. Something to challenge yourself. And it always takes that one event, bro. That one event to show you, like, okay, hey, it's getting bad.
Hey,
It's getting bad.
It was a gut check, like real shit, like pun intended. Like when because the dude was measuring me, and I could tell he was like trying hard to make sure I didn't fail. And I was like, and I'm like, yo, this motherfucker did it. And then when he said it, like he said it out loud, I was like, no, I ain't no fucking way I'm that. And then he did it again, and I was like, oh shit. And then when he told me, I was like, no, man. I was like, this got to change, man.
Yeah. Hey, and sometimes it just takes that wake up call, bro. That's all it is.
Yeah. So I want to stay on the military for a second, man. I really wish Pete was here. Because I mean, Tay can answer this too. But we're all married. Tay's the only one whose wife is in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so this is more of a Richie and P and me type thing. But Tay can still throw his opinion in there because
I was married to a non-civilian woman, so let's remember that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get at. Like you weren't married to someone who's
a civilian woman, not a non-civilian woman.
Sorry, non-military woman. Thank you, Richie. I have been drinking whiskey. I'm on my second glass, so thank you for correcting me, Mr. Petty.
So speaking of that, so when you're married to a civilian, do you feel like the military, because we don't give our wives enough credit, our civilian wives enough credit, do you think the military does enough to help them out? Do you think when, we move to different places that there's enough opportunities for them to succeed? Do you think the military has enough programs in place to help dependents? And then after you answer that, I want to know, do you even think it's the military's responsibility to have these programs in place to help spouses? So it's a two-part question.
Do you want to go, Richie?
Can I get the first question again? I got the second question.
Yeah. Do you think the military does enough to help military spouses? Do you think there's enough systems in play? Do you think if, like, for example, if your wife didn't do what she does, right? If she doesn't like the job she has right now, she was kind of more so relying on the military, because there are a lot of airmen and military members that come in and their wives kind of rely on that, because what if you get uprooted and move somewhere where your wife can't find that job in her specialty? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So do you think the military does enough to help the wife? The wife, spouse. Let me say spouse. I don't want to just make it sound like it's woman focused.
So spouses in the military sometimes are unappreciated or underappreciated, but I will say that the military makes an effort, especially for the E5 and below. There are programs where, at least at our base, where they could go into a nursing job and actually learn and work to get that job. And there are little jobs available that come up. Do they I would say it's like a 30 to 40% effort because the military is more focused on the service member. The service member gets all this stuff, and if the service member needs something, that they'll get that help. But sometimes I do see that when they're in the shadows. I'm kind of left and right because I do see programs out there. If they want to go to school, especially E5 and lower, the military will provide something for them to go get their degree. So I do think the military does.
Can I put a scenario out to you real quick, bro?
Yes.
So and this isn't my situation or anything like that, but the situations I've seen. Let's say Airman such and such is married to this female civilian, and she's got a bachelor's degree or master's degree in this specialty. They get uprooted and they move to a new base X, right? At base X, the wife cannot find the job in her specialty. So she's trying to find these jobs. She's trying to look, but she has to resort to working at the BX or the commissary because there's really almost no help. So she's kind of resorted back to working at one of those places. And now she's overqualified, but has to work there to make sure there's some income coming in. But now her mental's messed up because she's not able to do what she wants.
1 second, Tay. So I will.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna let you hop in. When they signed that marriage decree, not only does she sign that marriage decree, she signs to be a supporter of the military and everything that military member goes with. The military member is not. I mean, the military is not gonna just say, "Oh, because she has a degree in physics, we need to move them down near NASA." That's not what they're here for. They're here to support the military member, and since she's married, they're gonna take care of her. But it's not meeting all those needs that she's going to request. And there are a lot of angry spouses out there. And hopefully they understand that this is an organization. This is a business. And the military member is part of the business. Until we retire, we are a business item. And they're signing with that. So that's something that I wanted to say about that. I'm going to pass it to you, Tay.
Hey, man. So I'll be very transparent. My ex-wife was an X-ray tech, and she was certified in mammograms and something else that had to do with X-rays. And she couldn't find a job in Ramstein. But that's not the military's fault that she couldn't find a job where she was. When you are a military spouse, I believe, this is my Julius Taylor's personal opinion, if you want to pursue your career as a military spouse, then you need to tell your husband or wife to get out so you can do your job. Period. Like, you need to tell them to get out so you can do your job, because right now the military is going to use you for what they need you to do. As I said in the last podcast, the military is a business and they're going to treat it as such. Any other extras that you have, which is your spouse and your kids, you need to make sure you do your part to take care of them. Now, if your wife has to do something to bring in money, if you need to be a 2-home income and she needs to do something to bring in money, she has to work at the BX. That's sad. I feel bad for that, but I feel that if your wife has a certification or education or something, a doctorate degree, but you have to be somewhere where she can't get a job, that's not the military's fault. You, like Richie said, your husband or your wife signed the dotted line to be in the military. They're going to go wherever the military needs them. If they can't find a job, I think the military provides opportunities and jobs and different programs for spouses, but it's not really their job to do that. That's just Julius's opinion. It's not really their job to do that, but they do it anyway. And if you can't find employment through that, that's not the military's fault. So that's just what I have to say on it. I mean,
can I jump back in real quick and say something that, yes, the military spouse civilian category, it can be a struggle sometimes, but we also need to take in consideration the military spouse that's military. And in my first marriage, I was mill to mill like Tay is right now. And I will say, if we both had to deploy, we need to have somebody that can take our kids right then and there. Or here's
Facts.
another fun factor for you. Now that he moved into a new base, he has to have a plan to give his kids to somebody, even though he may not know nobody there. And that's supposed to be to his first sergeant within like the first 30 to 45 days. And it's
30
like,
days.
who am I supposed to give it to? I don't know anybody here. Well, you got to figure it out. And it's because, once again, that goes back to that business aspect. Mill to mill, you're still part of the military. Hey, childcare, we'll give you the CDC. We'll let them go to school. But if you got to go, you got to go. So
And you
I
need
wanted
to
to make
figure it
sure.
out.
Yep.
You need to figure it out.
Figure it out.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. I think a lot of spouses feel like the military military owes them something. I don't want them to have a what kind of mentality? You owe me mentality. Like the military doesn't owe the military spouse anything. They are providing the member with everything they said they would provide. BH with dependent, BAS with dependent. They're doing everything they can. Programs for dependents. They're providing them everything. Medical for your dependents. Like they're providing them everything. You have to make sure you make the best of every opportunity that you have. And I encourage every military dependent, whether you're man or woman, to go out and seek, go out and do the research and seek things and be proactive out in the community to make sure that you have something to keep you busy, because the military is not responsible for your lack of employment, if I want to say that. Like, does that make sense? They're not responsible for that. Now, I will take RB's wife, Jade, like she goes out and she seeks employment. And if she can do it, am I correct, RB, in saying she's a German citizen, but she's also an American citizen?
Yes, she is a German and American
She's
citizen.
she's dual citizen, but she doesn't let stuff like that stop her. I know, Lo, your wife had. Am I correct in saying your wife had a couple different jobs, and she had employment, even though that probably wasn't the field that but she grinded. You basically, that's the word I'm looking for. You have to grind until you get to the point to where your skills or whatever that you have accomplished, your degree or whatever it is, you can get to a base where you can utilize that. Grind. Understand that this is the process that you're going through. It's a process. I go back to this. This is my word for 2021. The process. It's a process to go through and understand that your military husband or wife is dealing with something, and you need to go through the process of making sure you have your own and not depending on them for everything. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, RB.
And I'm sorry, Lo, I know you want to hop back in real quick, but there's some things that I wanted to point out that we see from supervisory levels that airmen struggle with in this section. One, their spouses don't want to be flexible. Okay, we understand you got your degree in this, but we can give you this job. It's better than nothing. Nope. Okay. Communication between the spouse and the military member. A lot of it, these spouses come here and they don't know nothing about anything. And their husband is gone to work and they're just kind of like, I don't even know where to start. And we have spouses groups, but unfortunately, we have to be careful with the spouse group because it gets a little toxic. And once you get toxic with spouses, that creates a whole nother ordeal. And then the last thing is patience. They like, some spouses are demanding, and it's like, listen, give it time. Maybe 6-7 months from now, we'll be able to assist you with this job, but they want it now. And now because they don't get it now, they're upset, and this is their image of the military. Back to you, Tay.
My thing is that also when you're a military spouse, if you're not employed currently and you're dealing with the kids all day, I will be the first to say I know that's a full-time job, dealing with the babies, dealing with the kids, dealing with school, dealing with everything at home. And then the first thing you want to do is your husband or your wife come home and you want to unload everything on them. I would encourage military spouses to give the military member 30 minutes. Let them take a shower. Let them do whatever they need to do for 30 minutes. Let them decompress from their day, and then you unload everything on them so that they can so that they can uh, properly respond to you in the proper way instead of saying, well, you always just, unload everything on me and I had a hard day, I had a rough day. You know what I mean? Give them 30 minutes. You like have the kids do something, you have, the dogs do something, and then you and them can just talk about your day. But give them that 30 minutes. So I tell my wife, I need 30 minutes because my wife's job is not demanding as my job, but she still has stuff to talk about, and I still got stuff to talk about. But we unload it on each other, but we give each other like 30 minutes before we do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just unload on me when I first come in the door. Go ahead, RB.
All right, I'm gonna land the plane with this one, Lo. I'm sorry, we kind of ping ponged over here. Now,
Oh, y'all good. Y'all, I'm gonna add in a minute. Go ahead.
so Tay said for the advice to the military spouse, but I'm gonna pass some advice to the military member. The work don't stop when you get home. You got to be a
Bam.
leader when you get home, and the best thing to do is create a plan with your spouse to let them know, hey, look, I understand you had a long day just like I had a long day, but we are a team. It is a teamwork. It isn't you go to work and you bring home the bacon and that's how it should work. I won't say that's the proper way, but there are other ways to do it so nobody is struggling, because we still have to give credit to the spouses out there that they work their butt off to make sure the military member can go to work and come home and have a good meal on the table and be able to rest their head and have all that clean clothes and things like that. So ensure that be the leader for your family and create plans, create family nights, create all that things that where both you, like he was saying, both you and your spouse have that platform to freely speak, and it's not just one way. To you, Lo.
So I know we're spending a lot of time on the topic, but I would be doing a disservice if I didn't bring it up. Do y'all think that the Key Spouse program is a good program for spouses or no? Now, let me give you some instances that I've seen with certain spouses, and I've heard and seen with my own two eyes certain spouses getting the new bases and it being months to even years. I won't say years, that's an exaggeration, but months before they hear from anybody from the unit that is a spouse. And I know y'all can agree because I'm sure y'all have seen it before too. Do y'all think that program is a good program? Do y'all think that program needs work? Because when we say spouse, we don't just mean women, we mean men too, or men spouses. So, and we're on a platform where we can talk about these things. Do y'all think that that program is flawed? I'm going to answer, and I say it's very flawed. From the times that I've seen it, it seems like it's a flawed program. Fortunately, my wife has never necessarily needed that. You know what I mean? She's very independent, but there are some wives that come in the military or husbands that come in the military and they need that help. They need some help, some guidance, but they don't even know where to look to get it. So what's y'all take on that?
You mind if I go first, sir?
Go ahead, RB.
Okay. My personal opinion on the Key Spouse program is it's a great program when led properly. I've seen people get into positions and they think that they wear their husband's rank, or they're like, oh, well, my husband is so-and-so, so he can take care of this. And that's not necessary. Then there's like a pecking order, and there is no rank structure in the Key Spouse. You're supposed to be a team, but once power is given to some people, they don't know how to deal with it. And especially looking at a base level, I have witnessed, Key Spouse pages, because you can see it on social media, where women are going through rough times and people don't want to deal with it. They don't want to reach out because they're like, it's messy, or they want to go and I don't want to point this at women. I just want to say that there are people started to spread rumors, and it needs a leader to run that program. When led properly, it's a good program, but I have seen a lot of flaws in it.
For me, I will say that the Key Spouse program is supposed to be, like Richie said, when it has a leader. The leader is supposed to be the first sergeant. The first sergeant is in charge of the Key Spouses program. And I just went through the first sergeant symposium, and I just learned this. I didn't know that the first sergeant was in charge of the key spouse program. It's literally under them. So when you have a first sergeant who knows what they're doing, who cares about their people, they will do whatever they can to make sure the key spouse program is on point. At that point, at that time, the first sergeant is supposed to make sure that, not only that they're taking care of the military member, but they're taking care of the spouses as well. I think a lot of first sergeants just kind of key on the member and leave out the spouses, but they don't understand that if they just key on the member, they still have to deal with the spouses whenever something goes wrong. I want to be a first sergeant one day if I don't go officer. So this is why I did the first sergeant symposium. I think the key spouse program is broken because a lot of first sergeants neglect it. And I think that if is properly maintained, properly taken care of, properly sought after when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, put out little things that help out the spouses, put out things that communicate to the key spouse, let people know who the key spouse is. I've been to a couple of bases and we didn't even know who the key spouse was until later on down the road. And I think that's significant to know who the key spouse is, who to reach out to. You know what I'm saying? Like who to reach out to. Like we don't even know who to reach out to.
Tay, let me
go ahead.
And I don't mean, and I'm sorry for cutting you off, but just the reason I want to bring this question up is because, we're on leadership positions, but we have young airmen coming in with spouses and they're young spouses. And a lot of these spouses don't even know where to begin. They don't know where to start. They don't know who to reach out to. They're away from home. They have no friends. We all been there.
And we already know that it's unfortunate that they look on Facebook and look at the key spouse page and they see nothing but drama. They see nothing but drama. The key spouse is supposed to deflect all drama, but bring in all positivity. You know what I'm saying? And if we had more of that, I think the key spouse program will run beautifully. But we have people who want to keep in drama, about the unit, who want to keep in rumors, who want to keep in all this other BS that doesn't need to be there and doesn't need to be a part of the unit. You all seen it. You all hear all the gossip. Oh, so-and-so family went through this and this and that. And they, you know what I'm saying? And it's just a bunch of BS that the key spouse program, unfortunately, like, if you want to know all the gossip, where do you go?
Oh, you go to the key spouses page, man.
You go to spouses page. But if a true key spouse who wasn't worried about all that bullshit, excuse my language, who wasn't worried about all that BS, and who wasn't worried about all that, but just worried about the people getting the proper information, people getting good information, people getting just good vibes from the unit, and worrying about creating a positive environment. That's the key word, the positive environment. If they were worried about creating a positive environment for the spouses, I think more people would be amped to be a part of it. But like my wife, even though she's admin, she wants to be a part of the Security Forces Key Spouse program, but she doesn't want to be a part of a negative, toxic environment. And that's all it is. It's a negative, toxic environment. And nobody wants to be a part of that. So I think that if somebody would step up, create a positive environment, and the first sergeant took charge and cared about the program like they're supposed to, it'll be great.
So I'm kind of stuck in between something right now. I understand that the first sergeant is in charge of the key spouse program, from what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
I think it should be from a manager level. I don't think that the first sergeant should be the leader of the key spouse, because on one side of it, yes, the first sergeant can help everybody, but guess what? On the military side, he sees all the punishments that go through too. And most of those people that have punishments have what? They have spouses. So how do you, it's almost like you have to come in and be wanting to help, be nice to Airman Snuffy's wife, even though, you know that she is probably, I won't say probably, she could possibly be an issue that is driving Airman Snuffy to be causing these problems in the work environment. I think it should be a strong spouse to be the leader. But when you put the first sergeant in that, he has the knowledge of too much drama, and then he has to come and be, the positive person for the key spouses, even though he knows that the key spouses or the spouses are angry at him due to the fact of uncontrol. Because when Airman Snuffy goes home, he tells his wife, well, the first sergeant was mean to me because, and he doesn't tell the whole story. Now the spouse is angry at the first sergeant. The first sergeant's like, it's my job.
Hey, man. Hey, if you can't handle the position, don't be in it. I mean, come on, RB. If you can't handle the position, why are you going to be in it? I know. Hey, I know we want to save everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We do, and that's why we're putting out this podcast. But at this point in my career, I'm more of a sniper. I want to hit pinpoint targets, and if we're talking about certain people, if you're a first sergeant, if you don't want to be in that position, don't take on the responsibility.
Okay,
you have to be the jack of all trades.
I get that. However, the spouses can say whatever they want. They can carry themselves however they want, as long as they're not breaking any rules on base. So you can get called all the names you want under the moon because they're, of the attitudes that come with it. I'm still, at the end of the day, a military member. So me carrying myself as a first sergeant, and I got this wife, regardless of what we're trying to do with her to make her happy, she isn't happy. However, she has the voice to the masses, regardless of what I do as a first sergeant. Those ladies are going to always, it's walking into a gauntlet every time. And I just have a whole bunch of spouses that are upset, but aren't willing to meet me halfway. So honestly, if it was civilian on civilian, yes, let it happen. But you have a line you can't cross as a first sergeant, while these dependents can do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. And that's what I don't think I don't approve of.
What line do you feel like you can't cross?
Oh, we already know as military members we're tied. Hey,
yeah, we're tied.
There's things we can't say. There's things we can't say, we can't do because of the UCMJ, where a civilian can do whatever the fuck they want.
Right. And here
we already know that, Tay.
But the fact is that you have control of the page, you have control of the people, and you can have control of the key spouse. If you don't want
have
that
control of
the
people,
if you don't want that person to be a key spouse anymore, fire them as a key spouse and hire someone who's going to bring in positivity and bring in and meet you halfway and understand that, yeah, you can come in and have some, we can have a conversation and I can meet you halfway, but you're not going to go all the way to the left. You still have to abide by the military rules and military bearing. And if you're not going to do that, then you're not going to be a fucking key spouse.
That's why you will not have a spouse program. I'm not going to sit here and tell some wife, oh, well, you have to meet these rules and you will follow these rules, because what's she going to say?
So we're not going to say that when you have a job at wherever you have, there's not rules, there's not left and right limits.
They're not getting paid to be key spouses.
It doesn't matter. You volunteered to do it. So do it right and do it by the guidelines. There's guidelines to be a key spouse. I learned that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that there were guidelines to be a key spouse. So you don't want to be a key spouse? Then you telling me to go get F? You go get F. Get out.
You can't say that.
Yes, I can.
You're gonna go tell her as a first sergeant.
You can tell her as a first sergeant. You can tell a key spouse to
go get F.
No, I mean not that, but be professional. But you can tell a key spouse, hey, you're no longer the key spouse because I don't feel like you are meeting the intent of what a key spouse is. I don't feel like you are the what I want in a key spouse. So get out. You can say that as a first sergeant, and I will take over the key spouse duties until I find another person to replace you.
And that's what I'm saying, because I'm learning this with it. I won't say I'm learning this right now with the Airmen, but I've seen this over the years. Even if you look at Yes, if you look at our former president, Donald Trump, when you have a voice that's very strong that can control the masses, it honestly doesn't matter what is true and what is right. People are going to want to follow that voice. So if there is a toxic person in the key spouse's position, regardless if you say you're fired, you just lost half your spouses, and everything that you want to do that's nice for these spouses can set you back months, maybe years until they PCS. Because I would say experience coming here, hearing about the spouse group here was very deterring for my wife wanting to be a part of it, because she heard that
and
it was
and
toxic.
I'm glad you brought that up, because if I had a toxic key spouse, but I had a Jade that I know that was a strong personality and that was level-headed and thought like a person that I needed them to think like, I would say, okay, you know what, you toxic person, you get out. I'm going to put Jade into a key spouse program, and I'm gonna tell her, hey, we're gonna come together, me, the first sergeant, and Jade, the Jade Brown, and I'm gonna say, hey, this is what my intent is. What do you want to do? What do your intent are? And then we come together, we meet in the middle, and then we go from the we do the program from there. And
You know, I
that's the problem that the military has, is that they put these people in charge, but the first sergeant and the key spouse don't talk. They don't communicate. And the problem is that there's a big miscommunication. That's the main issue with any kind of relationship. There's a miscommunication.
I think the key spouse should be. I think it should be a job they got paid for.
Facts. But
Hey,
it's not that's not it. I'm sorry, go ahead, Lo.
No, because this is throwing it. This no, I love it. This is what I wanted. So if a new spouse comes to a base, right? I don't know the rules specifically. Tay, you went to the symposium, so you might know. Richie, you might know. Is it the spouse's responsibility to reach out to the unit, or the unit's responsibility to reach out to the spouse?
It's 100% the unit's responsibility to reach out to the member. They're supposed to know every inbound member, just like S1 knows every inbound member. The key spouse is supposed to know every inbound member. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, Tay, the unit's going to reach out to the member, but we've already seen this. But Tay, hold on, before you go, we've seen this over and over.
I'm ready.
How many spouses get ignored?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot, and it's not right. It's not right. It's not right.
Okay.
When the member gets contacted,
the
military member, the husband or wife, I don't want to make it one. The husband or wife is supposed to be contacted as well. And that is on the S1 and the first sergeant. It's supposed to make sure that the key spouse, the member's wife, and the kids get contacted. And unfortunately, like, I'm PCS in the Andrews. Nobody besides the UDM or the security manager has contacted me. And the only reason they contacted me is so I can get TS. Nobody else from the unit has contacted me. I'm going to show up to this unit on Wednesday or Thursday, and nobody's going to know who the F I am. They're probably going to see me on the inbound roster once they check their email.
Yeah.
But nobody knows that my wife works at the Pentagon. Nobody knows I'm inbound. The only time in my 15 years and being in the military that I had a sponsor was the 435th Security Force Squadron, and that was Sergeant Matherly. And then he passed me off. Then he passed me off to you. So that was the only time I ever had a sponsor. So that's a fail. And it's just one of the small things that I feel like the Air Force, I'll be specific and say the Air Force overlooks for I don't know what reason. I don't even know the reason.
So I want you to think about something. Like when we're talking priorities of work, where do you think the spouse's a key spouse program comes in the priority of work?
They're absolutely low end.
So if you have a unit from a first sergeant's perspective, if you have a unit that is in like extreme turmoil and you got a lot of things going on, when do you have time for the key spouses group? If you have a key spouses group when you walk in that's already toxic, how do you even get those women back? How do you even get those spouses back? Because majority of the time, once the spouses are done, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to deal with it. They're lost.
But Lo, Richie, that's what you said that you said the key word. As leaders, we're supposed to care about the whole airman. It's part of the whole airman. It's part of the whole airman. It's not just them; it's their families as well.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we do all of it? Why are we missing the mark on this? And this is why
you preaching, bro. You preaching
why
right now.
are
Go
we
ahead.
missing the mark? Why
I
are we
don't know.
missing the mark? Why are we not caring about the whole airman? Because when the airman's family suffers, they suffer, and then we have to deal with their suffering, and then we trace it back all the way back to what is the root cause. It's the airman.
Okay.
Go ahead, Richie. Please.
No, I'm glad you said the root cause was the airman, because as much as it is for the first sergeant and the S1 to reach out to the spouse, it's also a responsibility for the airman to inform the spouse of everything that they have. So if the spouse is stubborn or through rumors don't want to be a part of it because they're uneducated of whatever the program may bring, it can't all be laid on to the military. The spouse has to do their due diligence to come out there and be like, all right, I'm gonna give this a try. How can I help? I'm here to entertain it.
But Richie, how many times has a spouse complained? But you got somebody like me and you who doesn't really.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? You got somebody like me and you who don't really. And I'm not talking about the ones who want to create drama. I'm talking about the ones who have valid complaints.
But what's a valid complaint? Because if a spouse
complaint is like, hey, like I have nobody reached out to me, like you know what I'm saying? I have nobody to help me. I have no like at least let me know what programs there is. And I know part of that is the airman's fault because they need to be able to bring their wives to the Airman Family Readiness Center. They need to bring their wife to all these different avenues that the Air Force has for us.
Okay.
But how many times do the airmen don't know about these programs? We don't preach this stuff. We don't preach this stuff to these guys, man.
I will say uneducated airmen can already be a downfall from the beginning. I will agree with that. However, if a spouse is coming in and saying, why is my husband still at work? Listen, there should be a class about what your airman needs to do. The military owns his behind for the next up 10 years. And unfortunately, he's going to be working a little bit longer tonight. But you're coming here to yell at me to tell me, well, my husband didn't come home last night. Okay, look, your husband got off at 5 o'clock.
Man, stop.
No, I'm not.
No. That is the airman. That is the airman or NCO's fault. Think about what happened at the 435th when the commander got blamed for NCOs
staying out. Coming, not coming home.
I don't want to bring it up.
No, but that's true. But that goes back to
when the commander got blamed for it when he was letting people off work. Like, hey, go home and be with your families. And people wasn't coming home.
We need
to move on. We need to move on because I know we getting short on time. But we could talk about this for a minute. But overall, I feel like my closing remarks, RB, I feel like that the spouse has to understand that the military is a business and that they need to act accordingly, but they also need to properly identify their needs and not put it in a way that is drama filled. That's my final remark.
I'll close out with this. We should pay key spouse because it's hard to make structure for people that don't have structure.
Well, the person who's supposed to have structure, is being paid, and they're the first sergeant. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The person who's supposed to have the structure is being paid, and they're being paid extra money.
So how are you going to create a structure for people that are civilians that can just be like, you know what? I don't care.
I love it.
You can't put them in a box and tell them what they can and can't
make
do.
them care.
You're
That's the
supposed to
part.
make
That's the reason
them
why
care.
you're a first sergeant. That's the reason why you are getting paid the extra money. That's the reason why you are the first sergeant. You have power.
You have power over so you're telling me you have power over the independents.
You are supposed to have power over one side and the other side, the military member and the spouse. That's your program.
You have power over the spouse.
You're telling me that you was in charge of the airborne program, that you don't have any power. No, they're in charge of the key spouse program. They're
in charge of. No, they don't have power. I would love to see a first sergeant. I would love to see a first sergeant go say something to somebody's wife, and she look at him and like, power over who? I would love it.
Then you know what?
They got power, but Tay, they got power over the program, but they don't have power over a civilian spouse.
They don't have power.
You don't need to be a part of the program then.
What?
You need to be part of the program.
You just talked about helping the program.
You understand that you're a spouse. You're part of the program. You're part of the group. If you're a team, if you're on a football team, you're part of the team.
We would like you to assist us. They are an assistant. If they're not getting paid, because look, you're talking about the first one getting paid. Look, no. You had closing remarks. You had closing remarks and you broke that rule. All right. Okay. So look, you're telling me. Not my fault. Listen, you telling people. I would love to see a first sergeant tell somebody's wife, you're part of the program, so you're gonna listen. No,
everybody.
As a first
sergeant needs structure. Everything needs structure. If you're not willing to fall into the structure of things, then you need to get out.
Tay, listen.
Hey, I know. Stop. I know that Ajade Brown, if she went to the first sergeant and she talked to them and they came to a mutual agreement of what the parameters of each person's responsibility was, they would be okay.
I know that if the first sergeant told my wife that she's gonna follow the program,
no. I'm not saying she's following the program, but they came together. If she was a key spouse, you can't tell me.
That's different, though.
It's different.
That's different.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
Y'all not hitting my point.
Tay, what you're saying is they're coming to a compromise.
I'm about to leave.
You gonna cut it off?
Because I'm about to leave because you guys are not listening.
The disrespect.
Okay, go ahead, Tay. Go ahead. I know the finger.
You're not listening.
So why don't we move this conversation to another podcast?
Yes, let's move it. Let's bring the spouses in and get their opinion. Let's ask them if the first sergeant.
I think. Yeah, let's bring this this should be a Valentine's Day topic. Whoever's running that podcast.
Oof.
Go ahead, drink your air, Tay.
Yeah, drink that air.
I got two more questions. But I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to one more.
Okay.
So I want to have some fun because y'all saw the last question. Y'all saw the topic I brought up.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, no, you're doing it.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Now you're doing it.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
Take Richie. How long did he have the topics?
Oh, he had the topics for a long time.
Yeah, so he had a long time to be like, I ain't doing that. Are you doing it?
Let me sip my drink.
So I'm a dad.
So listen, I was scrolling Instabook, right? And I was taking a gander, right? I'm just taking a gander on Instagram, and suddenly I see a couple Instagram posts where someone's, in regular clothes, and then suddenly the lights cut off to a red district looking light, and it looks like they're not in clothes anymore.
Okay. That's called the silhouette challenge. I watched everyone. Yeah, I was bleeding. I watched everyone. I watched every single one. I can't help. I watched every single one. I didn't watch the men, but I watched all the women. Tiffany, I watched every last one.
Stop it.
Hey, but real talk. Hey, real talk. That Tiffany Haddish one was dope, though. Yes. The Tiffany Haddish one was dope with Common. That shit was fire.
I don't know who he was in the background.
It's Common.
I thought it was.
Who'd you think it was? Say it. Yo, all right. So that's not the only one. So then we also had the busted challenge going on, right? Where the chick was wearing like some like lounge clothes, and then suddenly the beat changed, and then they like dressed up, shaking their ass.
The twin.
so
Who's the twin? Who's the twin that played Little Mermaid? Lord have mercy.
What?
The one that the
Dave's like, I watched all the challenges.
I watched all the.
He's like, my phone died.
I'm a challenge person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can we get to the question?
All right, so real quick. So y'all seen the silhouette challenge, y'all seen the busted challenge. I'm gonna ask both of y'all. Y'all better give me some good answers, man. If your wife came to you, was like, yo, I'm about to make a silhouette challenge. I'm gonna do a busted challenge. Are y'all cool with that? Or would y'all have something to say about that?
Tay?
Yeah? You putting a gun to her head, Tay? The gun to her head, Tay?
Okay. I'm gonna bust your head.
So
hey, Richie, go ahead.
In reason, if
what's in reason? Come on, we gotta have the real conversation, Richie.
So if it's not too provocative to where it's questioning, I won't say questioning, but I don't know, it's breaking the credibility because she walks as a very strong woman. And I don't want that to be used as something to be like, look at her, she ain't at because of this. Because some of those busted challenges, the women went from being super busted to super good looking. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Let's turn to the silhouette challenge. I think the silhouette challenge it's extremely creative. And it's letting people, it's stunting on people without giving it to them. So I don't know if I would be, I mean, she could do it for me. I would have my own video, but I don't know if the world needs to see that. The world
You're not comfortable with her doing it for everybody else?
Why do we need to open that door for curiosity? I don't need nobody else's mind to run about how my wife looks in a silhouette or what they think they saw. I don't need that. Now, so I don't think that would be necessary. Now, the busted challenge, cool. Hey, look, I know what she looked like when she dressed up, but y'all really about to see. I think that is, hey, yo, do your thing. I
feel like it's the opposite. I feel like the busted challenge is something that I don't really care if anybody see it. Like, because I know my wife, I know she would be classy doing it, and she was about to do it, and she was going to share it, but she was going to show me for approval. I don't really care because I feel like I'm secure enough in who I am to know that she's not going to do anything. The silhouette challenge thing, I thought that was dope, and she was talking about doing it with me in it. So I mean, either one, if my wife wanted to do it, I would be for it because I know I'm not really into trends. I'm not really into doing what everybody do. If you guys know me, I'm not really into doing what everybody else do. But if my wife wanted to do it and she wanted to feel like that's how she wanted to show off her sexy, because she is bad. You know what I mean? Like, my wife's bad. So if she wanted to show that off, then but in a silhouette challenge or something that somebody can't really see, I'm good with it, man. Like, I don't really. If she showed too much, I'll bust her motherfucking head. But
put a white meat.
But the silhouette challenge thing, like, if she said she wanted to do one with me in it, I wouldn't mind, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's different. That's different.
But I think that the busted challenge was dope, but I think the silhouette challenge was super creative, and it showed off.
It was a way for women to show sexy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
a way for them to show off their sexy without showing nothing.
You know what I mean? It was a way to show, like, hey, I look good in normal streetwear with no makeup, with a bonnet on, and then I look good when I dress up. And that's what I try to tell my wife. Hold on one second, RB. I try to tell my wife, I love you. I fell in love with you. When I first met my wife, she had no makeup on. She had a ponytail on. She had some, like, dude shorts on.
There's
in a t-shirt.
Basketball shit, huh?
That's when I first fell in love with my wife. We were at the club, like the club at NCOA, the NCOA club, and she has like basketball shorts on, a t-shirt, and a ponytail with some glasses. Like she was nerded out. And then when I seen her dress up, I was like, holy shit. Like I thought she was fine when she had that on. And then when she dressed up, I was like, whoa.
You know Tay into it. Look at Tay. He like,
hey, you know what I mean? I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. Like, who is this? So, you know what I'm saying? If that's what she wanted to do, like I would support it, but she would have to keep it classy. Okay. That's all I have to do.
So here's a question. Since you think the silhouette challenge is just so creative, you think guys should do it?
Yo, listen.
I have never. I don't think stop.
Wait a minute. Y'all said it was
hold
creative. Hold on.
I don't think that that's
y'all hear Yaz laughing right now? Y'all hear Yaz laughing? Let me say y'all something.
I don't think that's can I say something though?
Go ahead.
I don't think was meant for guys. And I think I know you're gonna disagree because I'm looking at your face. I think if a guy if a guy does it, he has some kind of mommy issues or something because like you shouldn't be participating in the challenge. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, go do like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go do a workout video or something. Like, you shouldn't be grinding in a goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing?
What's wrong with it, Tay?
Hey, RB, if that's what you want to do, bro, like
I'm trying to I'm just trying to see both sides of the spectrum. Yes, heard what I asked. I'm asking for the women. Yo, should guys do a busted challenge? Should not the guy a busted challenge? The guys should do a silhouette challenge. My wife will be laughing. Yeah, my wife will be laughing at me.
Hey, listen. So I think the busted challenge and the silhouette challenge.
No, I got a question. Would you do a silhouette challenge?
With my wife. That's it.
No,
with my wife. I ain't doing no silhouette challenge by myself.
Would you be like,
hell no. Hell no, bro. Yo, if she wanted, listen, if you guys want to do it with me, fuck yeah. But if she was like, yo, do one, nah. I think the silhouette challenge was for women to be sexy and then men tried to jump on the train. Like, that was something for women to show off they sexy. Men didn't need to jump on that. They just didn't.
Absolutely not. If you did like,
Sorry, men.
Hey, if you
I was enjoying it until I scrolled and I saw a dude do it. I was like, what the fuck?
Bro. If you did like a silhouette challenge, like we were in like the hookah club and you had like a suit on and you were sitting down, like you wasn't like grinding and all this. Man, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? I'm good. No. I'm good on that.
Hey, I just thought I would ask, man. The women wanted to know, so because I heard this question the other day.
The women wanted to know.
Richie, would you do it? Would you do a silhouette challenge?
Like Lo said, with my wife, I would probably do a silhouette challenge. My wife would kill me if I attempted to do one by myself.
Okay.
That wouldn't happen. You know, silhouettes, like there's other things that can show during the silhouettes for men. So I don't think that would be the best thing for me to do.
I'm about to say, Lo, we're gonna have to get him off the podcast. I can't.
Hey, I want to say this real quick, man. We are really missing P right now because this is a great combo for P. Yeah, this is right up P's alley, yo.
Yeah, it is.
He would be going nuts right now. He was like, "What is silhouette challenge? What is silhouette?"
I guarantee you, P don't even know what the silhouette challenge is.
Yeah, he probably didn't look it up. That's crazy. But yeah, man, I wanted to see what y'all thought about it, man, because it's everywhere. But y'all already know that this Friday, the silhouette challenge will be a thing of the past and there'll be a new challenge.
Oh, of course.
Y'all already know.
Of course.
It's like they come for like a week and then they gone.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So, but I'm still trying to catch up with the busted challenges. So.
You still going through scrolling through Instagram.
Was there somebody behind you?
Hey, man, stop. I'm not gonna look behind me no more because I'm not scared.
Oh yeah, you're not scared no more.
I watch it. Hey, look, listen, man. When you got somebody this beautiful, I watch it with my wife. You know what I'm saying?
Tay, I'm right there with you. Look.
Hey, look. Hey, you already know.
Hey, but look.
Watch it with my wife.
Tay, this shit right here.
Oh my God.
All right, everybody got a picture of their wife. Go ahead, hold it up.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Hey,
everybody got a picture of their wife.
I'm just trying to make sure y'all know. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
but Tay, actually for all y'all, tell me this shit right here, it ain't therapeutic for you. You just be having a rough day. You just look at your phone. You be like, I'm good.
Hey,
Right?
even when so for me, for my wife, man, it's been a lot of, us trying to move and trying to get things on the same accord. And sometimes we miss the mark, but I look at that picture, man, and I realize who is all for. You know what I'm saying? It's for my wife, man. Like I don't care about nothing else, man. I don't care about anything else, bro. I literally love my wife to death. Like it's bananas. Like I
Respect
wish
that, bro. You should.
I wish the young Julius. I told my wife this earlier. I wish that I would have known that I was going to marry her. I would have lived a better life.
No.
I
You
would have.
weren't
No,
ready.
no.
You were
I
ready at the
understand.
right
No,
time, bro.
stop. I understand that the stuff I went through prepared me for
I
her.
don't know what this is.
I know, right?
I know that the stuff I went through prepared me for her, but I wish I would have known I would have been with her, and I felt like I would have lived a better life. I know that. Like I know that everything I went through prepared me to be with her. But if I would have known that I would have been with her, in my mind mentally, I felt like I would have prepared better for her, man. Like,
But at the same time, you got to think that maybe she had to prepare for you. But I ain't gonna drop that right now. I'm not even gonna, get into that old wisdom.
Look at Tay face. Look at Tay.
Yeah.
You're like what she had to prepare for.
I wish I could say something, but RB knows too much personal stuff about me. He knows too much personal.
I do.
He knows too much personal about me, and Jade knows too much personal about me, so I can't
Jade does.
say nothing.
Yep.
Hey man. So real quick, man, I had a ball doing this podcast with you.
Stop. First off,
Yo.
stop. I want to say I hate him.
Is that Richie?
I hate him. I hate him. That's Richie. This is you. I hate him.
He's this way to me.
I don't like him.
Fun.
I don't like him.
It's all out of love.
Nah, man, I think it was a good podcast, man. It wasn't great because we were missing one member, but P should be back next week.
Yeah, like I told the audience, man, we are going to get things together, guys, and this podcast is going to take off. We're going to have a couple special guests that I'm getting lined up, and I told the special guests that I don't want to bring them on till we have everything together. But y'all gonna be surprised. I'm not even revealing it right now, but I'm working on some stuff. And,
that's how we're gonna do it? Because I got like 5 or 6 in line ready to go.
Your guess ain't bigger than mine.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
You know what? Okay.
I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Okay.
I guarantee it.
Tay gonna have like Obama on.
Hey, yo, you get Obama on.
Like, how you even do that? How the fuck
Hey.
you even do that? Like, how you know him?
Dad, is that you?
No. So, but,
right.
Hey, for our audience, please rock. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for listening to us. We are going to get this thing under control. We are moving. We're PCSing. Y'all know how it is. If you're military members, you know how it is, and we are getting it together though. So
still trying to bring y'all dope content. I got
homework for our guests. For our listeners. Hey, if you're listening, our homework: pass to one friend, somebody that needs it. Even if somebody just needs a laugh, pass it to them. Listen to it with them. Goodness, I'm stuck in the shoot there.
Hey, y'all don't listen to RB. Listen to it with
that coronavirus. That coronavirus.
Listen.
Can you cut his mic off?
Cut
his mic off.
I'm about to mute him. Listen to it with them, and please ask us questions at our email at whiskeywisdomwinning@gmail.com.
And subscribe.
Click
the button, rat.
Anything else? Y'all got closing remarks? Good.
RB?
I ain't got no closing remarks. Hey, y'all have a great night. We love y'all.
Same here.
My closing remarks is just please make sure you take. Now I ain't got nothing deep. Dang, man. Just please make sure you take care of your mental health. Know that you are important, and that we are here for you. If you need us, or you need to talk, or you need uh any lane to vent or avenue to vent, please hit us up. We can have you on. You can talk to us about your problem, and then we can, all the four of us can diagnose, you know what I'm saying, to help you get through whatever situation you're going through. But you are not alone. There's too many members in the Air Force alone, not even the entire military, but the Air Force alone, who are suffering, and we don't even know they're suffering because they refuse to let people know that they're suffering. So make sure that you let us know what you're going through. Talk to us, let us know, and we'll be here for you, man. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. So um, a surplus a surplus of effort could overcome a deficient of confidence. So
Word.
just let us know, man. Let us know let us know what you're going through so we can help you.
Word, man. Thanks for that, Tay, man. Again, yo, dope podcast. I love y'all boys, man. And yeah, it is what it is.
Y'all take it easy.
Yeah. All right. And